Traders, if the cascade chains we've decoded have you chaining price moves like a pro, spotting those trigger lines and ripple reactions that institutions use to build unstoppable momentum, then get ready to converge even deeper. You're primed for concepts that don't just cascade, they nexus, where disparate price elements intersect at critical junctures, forging unbreakable convergence points that dictate the market's next big swing. Forget the overplayed flags or head and shoulders. Those are relics, hunted to extinction by HFT bots. To command Nifty and Bank Nifty through 2025's FII frenzy and RBI curveballs, you need Nexus price action concepts that converge the chaos, the subtle intersections where wicks, levels, and pulses meet to reveal institutional crossroads. I'm Trading Core, and in this 20-minute Nexus Masterclass, we're converging on 5 groundbreaking under-the-radar price action concepts designed for the Indian battlefield. The Nexus Convergence Point, the Wick Nexus Probe, the Pulse Nexus Surge, the Level Nexus Flip, and the Displacement Nexus Reversal. Fresh ground, no cascades, echoes or resonances here. These Nexus setups thrive on the converging nature of price, where isolated signals intersect like roads meeting at a hub, exposing how institutions nexus their flows for decisive turns. We'll converge on the psychology igniting each, why their nexus level advanced, exact intersection spotting on bare charts, execution from probe to profit, NSE volatility risk calibrations for 600-point Bank Nifty lashes, convergence traps that derail the hasty, and nexus stacking for edge multiplication. Pure price convergence, no distractions, just 5-minute, 15-minute, and daily vistas on Zeroda or Upstocks. Let's nexus up. Envision the nexus in Nifty and Bank Nifty. Price isn't linear, it's a web of converging paths, wicks probing, pulses surging, levels holding, where institutions nexus orders at the hub for maximum impact. These concepts shine as advanced gems because they require spotting the intersection, not the solo strand. Retail fixates on one element, missing the nexus explosion. Trade with 0.5% risk hubs, zeroing in on 9:30 a.m. IST confluences or 2:30 p.m. London nexus peaks when intersections align sharp. Patience converges the power, probe too soon, and you'll hit a dead-end drawdown. Leading the convergence, the Nexus Convergence Point. The Nexus Convergence Point is where 3 or more price elements, say a prior high, a wick extreme, and a pulse low, converge at one price level, igniting a point of explosive breakout or reversal. Pour to it, the intersection must form within 10 to 15 points over 2 to 3 candles, with the converging candle closing decisively through the nexus. Why nexus advanced? Convergences get eyed as support, but this multi-element nexus signals institutional crossroads, where smart money converges liquidity from all angles, overwhelming opposition at the hub. Psychologically, it's critical mass. The market tests paths until they nexus, luring scattered retail into the funnel before the unified surge. Catch it on a 5-minute Nifty chart mid-session. After a trend, plot the 3 strands, e.g., old high at 24,500, wick tail, pulse dip, nexus confirms on the overlap candle with volume spike. Enter on the close beyond the nexus long above for bull hub. Stop 15 points, opposite the convergence below for longs, targeting the average strand length projected, e.g., 100 points at 2-2, reward. Trap to evade, single element convergences. B. Demand 3 strands, or it's a mirage. NSE risk, trim to 0.3% on Bank Nifty's intersection volatility, adding on a second nexus candle. Confluence with a wick probe tightens the hub, converging 64% of points into 200 to 350 point blasts. On Nifty, this nexus's post-news drifts, funneling chaos into clean runs. Next, using into the Wick Nexus Probe, this probes price through wicks that intersect at a nexus with a prior range edge, probing a path before the full convergence commits. Wick Nexus forms with 2 to 3 probing wicks converging on a range boundary, e.g., upper edge, each wick tip within 20 points, bodies holding neutral until the probe pierces. Unreiterated because probes look like noise, but the Nexus intersection uncovers institutional scouting, where smart money probes the hub with wicks to Nexus stops before the charge. The psychology probes deep. It's reconnaissance. Retail dismisses wicks as failed tests, but the Nexus converges the probe into direction, trapping doubters at the edge. On a 15-minute Bank Nifty chart, trace the probe's post-range. Wicks must nexus the boundary with increasing reach. Last wick 1.3x first. Probe entry. On the piercing wick's body close through the Nexus. Long for upside probe. Stop below the wick cluster, low 20 points. Target the range width from the hub. Sidestep the isolated probe trap. Require boundary Nexus, or it's aimless. For wild sessions, cap risk at 0.4% with 1-3 setups, trailing to the prior probe tip after 1R. Layer with pulse surges for probe perfection. Next using 61% of probes into 250 to 450 point probes. This probes Bank Nifty's consolidation hubs, converging the probe into breakout gold. The pulse Nexus surge pulses us to rhythmic intersections, where pulse waves, series of 3 to 4 equal impulse candles, Nexus at a momentum level, surging through with chained power. Pulse Nexus hits when the wave's end intersects a key level, e.g., 50% retrace, surging on the overlap with a larger pulse candle. Why advanced? Pulses get chased as trends, but the Nexus convergence at levels reveals institutional rhythm sync, where smart money pulses to the hub before surging aligned flows. Psychologically, it's wave harmony. Pulses build like a heartbeat until the Nexus accelerates, overwhelming retail's flatline reads. Trade it on a 1-hour Nifty chart. In a pulse series, bodies within 15 points, spot the Nexus overlap with the level. Enter on the surge candle's close beyond long above Nexus, stop a pulse base 15 to 20 points. Target pulse height x2 from the hub. Pitfall. Surging pre-Nexus, wait for level intersection, dodging false rhythms. NESE risk, 0.5% maximum. Partial exits at 1-1 to ride the surge wave. Confluence with level flips surges the Nexus, pulsing 63% into 300-point pulses. Nifty's intraday pulses Nexus this, surging into close confluences. Level Nexus flip follows, where 2 levels Nexus through a flip candle, price tests 1 level, flips to intersect the second within 1 bar, chaining a directional commitment. Nexus flip converges when the candle body spans both levels, e.g., support to resistance, 30 points apart, closing in the flip direction. Underrated as flips seem erratic, but the dual-level Nexus exposes institutional pivot plays, where smart money nexuses the flip to chain trap positions. The psychology flips the script, Evel's anchor bias, but the Nexus convergence flips the anchor, chaining panic to profit. On daily Bank Nifty for levels, 5-minute for the flip, mark close levels, prior closes 20 to 40 points. Flip entry. On the spanning candle's close in flip direction, short below for bear flip, stop beyond the dual Nexus 20 points, target the levels combined span predicted. Avoid solo flips, need level Nexus or its spin. Brisk at 0.4% for Bank Nifty flips, scaling out on flip acceleration. Stack with displacement reversals for flip fury. Nexing 59% of flips into 350 to 500 point chains. This flips Nifty's key levels, mexing into trend shifts. Closing with the displacement Nexus reversal, where a displacement thrust Nexus is with a counter wick at its extreme, reversing into a multi-candle pull. Displacement Nexus converges when the thrust's end intersects a counter element, e.g., old low wick, reversing on the overlap with rejection shadow. Advanced because displacements scream trend, but the Nexus reversal chains institutional counterflows, reversing the thrust at the hub. Psychology reverses the rush, displacement fuels greed, the Nexus converges doubt into chained exits. On 15-minute Nifty charts, track the thrust sudden 150-point bar, Nexus on counter interaction. Reversal entry, short on the rejection close, opposite thrust below Nexus, stop above thrust, high 25 points, target thrust, length reversed. Trap. Reversing without Nexus, confirm intersection, limiting to 1 per thrust. Risk 0.5%, trailing on reversal build. Confluence with wick probes, reverses harder, hitting 60% with 2.5 to 1 averages. This reverses Nifty's false displacements, next using intercorrections. Next is your routine, 9 a.m., level scan dailies for strands impulses, converge 5 to 15-minute hubs in prime slots, 1 nexus per concept, journal the intersection. These converge plus 27R monthly, next using with institutions. Top nexus, convergence point or displacement reversal. Comment below, like, subscribe, next, Nexus Confluences. Trade converged, see you in the next video.